G'day, how you going? I'm Ianapolis, your acrylic guru from Australia. Welcome to my channel. Did you see that picture in the beginning? Well, that's what I'm going to show you how to paint today in this tutorial, and it's going to give you beginners the feeling of, I'm really enjoying this. That's what you need to do, enjoy your art. We'll get a size up there, that's what size canvas size I'm painting on today, and I'll also get some colours running up the screen there for you as well. Fantastic. Now, if you don't have the same colours, just use something similar and slowly build what you need for your art journey as you go along. Don't think you got to have it all at once, okay? I did that when I was beginning. Anyway, I'll bring you over here and we'll get right into it. So for my sky, the way I normally like to start my sky is just with this. There's my titanium white. That's what the white I use when I'm putting white in a painting. But this craft paint, student paint, whatever you want to call it, it's the big stuff. You get it cheaper than what you do in this stuff, and it's a lot less thicker. It's more runnier. So I usually like to grab this stuff. Now, it's not gesso. It's just craft paint, student paint, poster paint. It's got a bit of a sheen to it. Gesso is flat like ceiling white, okay? So I'm going to put enough on my palette to paint the sky area, and I want to put some retarder in there because I know in this sky I want to blend some clouds and make them look like the oil artists get their skies. So I'm just going to simply mix that with the craft paint on both sides of my brush so I can apply that to the canvas. Okay, so I'm going to crisscross this on the sky area. You can see my bit of a mountain here. I've got a mountain there. So this is going to be a mountain. So I'll crisscross this everywhere onto the sky area. And now I'm going to stroke it left and right like a gentleman just to get all the big lumps and bumps and brush strokes out of it. And now it's a nice even film of that craft paint with the retarder in there, okay? Now I've cleaned that brush, the putter on a brush. I'm going to use the same brush and load up my cerulean blue so as I can get a sky. Now I'm going to show you the best way to get values in a sky, all right? We've got that painted on there. We've got our paint ready. You don't want a big, bright, cartoony looking sky. We'll start at the top because if anything, we want the top dark and the bottom lighter. So we'll just simply push this on. I'm massaging it in. Now I'm going to crisscross it and bring it down to the horizon line just like that. Bring it back up. I've got mainly the bulk of the blue at the top of the sky, and the bottom half is a lot lighter. Now we've got brush strokes here. Look, here, there, here and there. Just simply stroke them left and right like we did to the white stuff underneath, all the way across your painting, and bring it down into that white, into nothing. And this will give you the illusion that your sky is like a sphere. It's got that sphere shape going on. If it's all the one value, throughout your journey, you can see it's just looking a little bit wrong. Now I'm going to grab a fan brush, appropriate size, whatever size you feel this one will do. Now this is a hog bristle fan brush, and I've got the structured titanium white out of the tube. See, you can see the thickness of this compared to when I poured that out in the beginning. And this is what I stamp my clouds in the sky with. Now you can also get a little bit of dark value to create depth in your clouds as well. And in doing that, I've got grey, or you can mix up some blue with some permanent alizarin, but I'm just going to use simple grey today. Now I'm going to show you a simple way, very uncomplicated, to get some great looking clouds in your sky without too much complication. So the top ones will bring, I'm just going to stamp this one on here, nice big top one. I'm creating a body. Now for those of you who are not sure what I mean by creating a body, what I've done, see this cloud, it's got body within it. It's not just a line that I'm going to blend. Now I want to grab my blending brush and I want to start tapping and pushing that into that blue paint that's wet, retarded, and ready to change and manipulate this white. Now I don't want to make this all the one value so it's going to look like a flat object on the sky. When you blend it, you just simply will see the shape coming alive as you blend it. So I'm going to blend this. Now see the turmoil? So many of my regular viewers know what I'm talking about, but if you're new here, you'll see I've got lighter and brighter and duller values of that cloud. Now I'm going to create a base So pretty much a flat, heavy base. It can be staggered like that, but it's a base coming up into the sky there. So that's a white cloud fluffing around in the sky. Clean my fan brush. Now I just want to do a few different clouds to give you an idea what you can do in your sky. I have a mountain here somewhere. We'll probably put something, a longer one over here. So I've got the bottom in my mind. Where are we? I've kind of made it go like this. So I know the bottom's going to be here. All right. Once you understand these markings within a cloud, your clouds would start looking more realistic to you and other people. Now I'm going to grab my blending brush. Like I said, I want to keep the base. There we go. And we can twist and tussle the tops, tickle the tops a little bit. Have some of the top soft. Now this is acrylic paint, don't forget. So we're working out how to get beautiful, soft, melting looking, luscious clouds in an acrylic painting. There we go, look what I've got there. I've got a lot of lovely, vibrant, brighter and duller bits of white within this cloud. Now watch this tail here. You can even do fun stuff like that. It's just so much fun. That's because the underneath blue sky has been conditioned to take it that way. Now we'll grab that grey and I'll show you what that's going to do to those clouds. It's just going to give them more dimension. Something you can do, you can practice this video, just practice these clouds and you can add it to all your paintings. Now I'm going to go along the bottom of this cloud. You know where I did the base? The bums I call it, because all clouds have a bum when they're over your head. I'm going to kind of spider finger that up into that white, just getting the corner of this brush, look, and gingerly doing it. And I might have another bit of a base out here and gingerly fluffing some grey in there like so. Now what you've got to do to give this cloud the look you're going for, you need to sit that down. So grab your blending brush again and you want to sit, so tap, wipe, and see the harsh edge of the grey against the white. You're kind of just softening that up here and there. The brush, when you're moving the brush around, it's going to create all the different lusters of the values of the colours within your cloud. So I'm just using the corner mainly, stamping it, twisting it, and giving that brush a turmoil movement like so. I'm going to do the same to the other cloud. Now keep in mind, different clouds you've got on your canvas are different sizes. I'm not going to go and put too much of this there. I'll get some of it dancing along here. Grey, the bottom half of it. It's got, I call it weather. You call it what you want. I call it weather. You got some weather within your cloud. And I want to do the same again, just softening those harsh edges to the grey into the white. Move your brush, have little sticky beak looks, see how it's going. And you literally see the clouds develop before your eyes. It's that easy once you practice. I've had people tell me, you make it look so easy. It's not that I'm making it look easy, it's just that I constantly practice with my clouds. Now to simply finish these clouds off, we're going to add the yumminess. So I've just got some more titanium white, clean brush. Let's start with this one, and then we're going to just put some of this in the grey again, adding yumminess. See how all this bit of the cloud's one value sort of there? I'll change that by putting a bigger bit right there. And it's going to make the cloud have backwards and forward sections within it. That's what the yumminess does, in my opinion. So now, leave that brightness there, but just sit down the edges of it all. Gingerly and gently. Like, see how this is all dotty? See what happened to that? We're going to do the same here. Gingerly and gently into some of that grey, softening those hard edges down. And you can see how that cloud now just has in forward, in back, in forward depth within itself. So now I'm just going to put the yumminess in this cloud here. Put what I want in front of it. Don't think too much, just kind of flop along, but with some kind of control within your movements. that'll do it. Sit those white edges down into the cloud there. Now, not all paintings have to look perfect. Every painting you do, you're learning something. I learn something in every painting every day, and you will as well. Don't feel you've already got there and it's it. Okay, my clouds are finished. I can carry on and put more there and carry on, but I've had enough. I want to get this mountain in there now. For my mountain, I've got some dioxine purple here. I'm using a flat brush and I've got some phthalo blue. So I'm going to mix the dioxine purple and the phthalo blue together to get me value that I want for the mountain. I want to come, where are we, about here. Beautiful mountain. Let's get something way up here and scoot him down just so you can see this white glare here. Okay, look how easy that was with a flat brush, and then just simply block him in. I've just wiped what was on the brush and I'm picking up the craft paint, just the white craft paint. The bit that didn't have any retarder in it, doesn't need retarder in it. And that mountain's still wet, and what we're going to do is simply create a duller, brighter bottom value of that mountain. So I'm just simply putting this on like so. If you love brush strokes like that, you can have it and leave it like that if you want. But I'm going to blend that into the mountain. I'm going to get a bit more white first before I do. So hopefully I don't have to go picking up any more white. Bring all this down here. I'm going to bring it into some kind of V shape like that. There we go, a bit more white. Beautiful. So there's purple, there's blue in there. The purple is like red values, because as you go through your art journey, you'll realise the more closer something gets to you, the more red values it has. So there we go. Now I'm going to just blend that. I've got my bigger blending brush and I want to blend this. I'm stamping it, moving it, twisting it, just working out what it's needing to make the transition of the two colours happen. Now you don't want to do some of it and then go off and have a cup of tea and come back and your paint's dry. Your paint's got to be quite wet when you do this. So I'm going to use the brush now and just come down the mountain like so, and then blend this into this colour like that, so all the values the same. Coming along here, I'll turn my brush around, and I'm not worried at the top half of the mountain if I've lightened too much of it. I can always come back and add some darker values there. I've got a flat brush. If you want to put some detail in your mountain, you can do this next bit. If you don't, leave it as it is. And we simply zigzag down your peaks like so, and these zigzag bits, pull them down. Don't have too much paint on your brush, otherwise you'll kind of hurt it. Scratchy, hairy, pull them down. I've dried it a little bit. I'll pick up some more paint. Just as I'm coming forward, it's making the mountain look non-flat. Simply bringing it from the peak, a zigzag motion from the peak. And it's just adding that little bit of greatness and bullshit to your mountain. It's not just a flat coloured mountain. Practice these things if you want to add these sort of luscious details to your work. That's it, we'll leave the mountain alone. But you can see it's given it some kind of coming at you look. I will wipe the paint off the brush, and I'm getting a very little bit of white on the tip Just if you want to, I don't know if I want to or not. Find that edge that you put there, just from about there will do, and we'll kind of scratch this down so it looks like a little bit of light or snow, or I don't know, it's just a flat brush doing this. How's that looking? Yeah, alright, I'm going to wipe that off my brush. I'm just going to simply sit it down, because to me, after looking at it in the monitor, it did look a bit loud. That's why I always say watch my videos before you start painting along with them, because if I do a mistake, you can work out not to do it or how to fix it. Now I've got 3 types of fan brushes here. I'm going to use the middle one. Why are you asking? I'll tell you why. This is my regular one. It's a hog bristle. It's quite stiff. When I wet it, it stays like that. This one's a soft one, more for watercolours. So when you wet it, it fingers out like that, and it's a little bit too soft. Okay, so I'm not going to use that one. This middle one is a mongoose hair. It's sort of in between those 2 brushes, and I can get some wickedly wicked trees and tops with this one I've discovered. Now I've got some green, vivid green, and I've got some straight black. So I'm going to grab the straight black and darken up this vivid green. Very blackish colour, but in real life you can see that green within it. And with this brush, I'm going to come from the bottom of the painting and up to where I want it. So watch what I do with this brush. I've done it in another painting I did today. I'm just quickly twisting it around, so I'm stamping it on and blocking it on where I want, but I know I want some lighter stuff here, so it's pretty much going to come all the way to there. This is raw canvas, this bottom half that I'm painting on. It's not got anything on it. I'll get all this bit done, so as you can see what the guru's talking about. So I'm going to come to that bit there. Okay, now see here where we've got this dark green now. What I want to do is I want stuff like this just coming up. Bits of long stuff, bits of natureified stuff. But see this light blue? I want to be able to see a lot of that as well. I don't want to cover too much of that up. So I'm going to come like this and bring it to the dark colour there, and I want to make all this happen along there like so. I can probably get something a little bit bigger here, like it's closer. I like the way it does these top things. It's just, I like it. Just scratch them up from the bottom, all different sizes, and then I'll show you how to kind of join it to the solid mass down below. Nice trees, just like so. Now see the bottom where we've started from this. See, you can see this line here. I'm going to now disguise that with more stamping, and I'm kind of like, I suppose it's like a blending principle. You're blending that line away and you're leaving the pointy tree shapes within there. So I'm joining it up. You can even go this way if you want. Start from the top side. Work out what's going to be higher and shorter. Just something more arty. I'm getting rid of there. Then I will block in all this. You start from the top, I'll start from the bottom. Up to you. So with the Magicatelli video YouTubes, I'm going to finish this off. I've given this a dry now. I've got some cadmium yellow light. I've got the vivid green on its own, and I want to make me green colour. Now that's very vivid. I don't want it vivid, so I will not use the vivid green. I will use forest green. I will be using that vivid green later. Now I did say forest green, but I've got sap green here, so I'm going to add that to the yellow. Now you look at the difference in this green to that one. It's not as vivid. Now that colour that I mixed before, it's like a dark green. This just needs to be subtly highlighted with this colour here. I just want to put some, where's some of these? I'll get something here first. See in front of that black? I want to come down and get some greens in there, just like so, on a very upright and sharp stroke like that. So getting some of this, leave some darks there and come on the other side there, getting some more vivid stuff in there. Pull them down into your darks there. Periodically getting some of this green just here and there, lacing up in that dark colour. I want some nice bigger ones here probably. Now you can do these as evergreen trees if you want. I'm just doing them as this. A little bit over here. Now what I will do, I'll have to come back and tune it with the, what do you call it, the darker colour again, because I'll show you what I mean. So we're getting these in with that stroke that we used before. There we go. Dance it around some of that black stuff. Lighter scratches in there if you want. Watch what this does. Now I've got to get the darker colour and set it back again. So I've given it a bit of a dry. Now see this dark bit, which is there. I'm going to sink that light bit back down. There we go. Because they're popping up throughout it all. See here? I did say I'd dry it. I dried it, yes. I'm setting that green back down. Get rid of this. Because we're going to have some vivid stuff right in front of this. See here, I want to make this darker one here. Scratch some in there if you feel it's too out of control and shape it up a bit. Get some darks back in there if you feel it's too loud. Watch what that does there. There's this bit loud here, so we'll scratchulate that up a bit. Scratch some of that up a bit. There we go. Too easy, isn't it, eh? Okay, so I've kind of adjusted that to where I want it. I'll give it a dry and then we'll put the vivid stuff on. I'm going to wet my brush and get this vividness. Now I want to get it vivid, vivulated. Stupid words I make up. And I want to be able to also make an even, just a little bit brighter value of it as well. So I'm just gradually bringing that yellow into it. And this is going to sit that sap green highlighted stuff down. I've given it a dry. Now I want it in this corner, so I want to kind of make it scratchy, hairy. So I'm going to come like this, scratchy, hairy, and I'm hoping it's kind of a different green than what I just highlighted that other sap green with. So we're coming along here, and I'm twisting the brush so I don't get a uniform pattern happening. Kind of like scratchy, viney sort of coloured thing here. There's no rhyme or reason for what it's called. Okay, and I'll do a bit on the other side. And we want to get this very vivid coming from here, pulling out. See, if it goes in front of that green, it doesn't matter because it's a different value of green. This is going to be highlighted. Now see what I'm doing here. Let's just say you did it too much and you made it too green and that. Just simply grab the darker colour and the same brush stroke, stamp it back. Now to highlight that, I've simply just what's in my brush is enough. I've got a daub of yellow, cadmium yellow light, and I want this really bright. And we're just going to highlight what we put on there now, this, in using the same brush stroke, okay? Now I gave this a bit of a dry and, well, easy, nicely just find your highlighty bits to happen throughout it. Get some of that up in there, see? Now what I want to do with the same fan brush, just to finish the painting off, just have something trying to come into the party here, but he's just not allowed in because he doesn't have the right dress code. So we've simply got the darker value again, which is the black and the vivid green. Just mix up a very dark colour of that. I'm just going to use this fan brush as well, and I want something just coming off. Now, you know how I've done it with filbert brush? Same thing, but I'm using this brush. Make it hairy. Don't cover your cloud up. Come over there. See how this is a big blob? Try not to let that happen. Scratch it up a bit. There we go. Simply grab your liner brush, same paint, and put in where you might need a trunk, let's just say off this one here. Come from in the mass and just bring it off the painting. Bang. We can put something there, and let's say something here. Get them the thickness you want, and then once we highlight this, it's just going to make this part of the painting go, oh, I like that. These will be sunken back when we do highlight it. And we'll put one there just to indicate that they do have their own individual branches on them. There we go. Now, I'm not going to use that sap green. I want to use this vivid green and the highlighted version of it, okay? So make sure when you're doing this painting, you got these left over. So starting on the tops of it all, top of it, and let it squingle down into the darker value there. Top bit done. Leaving the darks there. Don't get rid of all the dark. I don't know what sort of tree this is. It's a mongoose hair tree, because I used a mongoose hair fan brush to make it, so it's a mongoose hair tree. Let it gingerly fascinate itself down into the painting, and you'll see this, adding this one there just added a bit more yumminess to your painting as well. Now I'll dry that and highlight it. So I have the vivid highlighted colour there, putting a bit of water with it. I'm going to add a bit more yellow because I feel it's not yellowy enough. And let's get some bits of highlight in this. Mainly out in the edge. See if there's any black bits like that on top, cover them up. On the top there, this one can come all the way along. Finger down. Bit more there. Oh, standing on my tippy toes hurting my calf muscle. It's frustrating when you've got muscles because it's just something you can strain or get hurt. Alright, there we go. I don't know what sort of tree it is, but I've called it a mongoose tree. And this here can probably be a little bit more brighter if you want, because this green here I want to not as bright and as loud as this foreground green. So I'm just, wherever you feel you might have to tune it up, whatever. But you get the gist of what the guru's thinking. Okay, I'll sign this and then we'll whack a frame on it. Oh, where can I go? I'll go about here. And I'd like to use this opportunity to thank my Patreons who follow my content, support it every month. Very much appreciated. Check out the links in the description below. There's over a dozen there, and find out what they can do for you. There's all sorts of information, art for sale. Okay, and we'll see what this frame looks like on there. There you go, it's not too shabby. We've got a mongoose mountain scene there, some trees, some scraggly, viney grass stuff there, some distance on a mountain, just something different. And it looks like a unique piece of art. And I know you can do it. Well, I enjoyed that. I hope you got something out of this video. If you did, please give me the thumbs up, share and subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification bell. And also, tell your friends if you like what you saw on my channel, but if you don't, you tell everybody. Goodbye, good luck, and good on you.